The EU has a sinister masterplan to build an empire and Britain should not be a part of it, the late Labour veteran Tony Benn claimed in a throwback speech. Mr. Benn spent much of his political life campaigning against Britain's membership of the EU and its precursor, the EEC. It is a tragic irony that his life's calling was not achieved until after his death in 2014, but that is not to say his views are irrelevant today. As the Brexit debate rumbles on, Leavers and Remainers alike would be wise to take note of Mr. Benn's claim that unelected Brussels bureaucrats are on an empire-building mission. Speaking to the Oxford Union just 1 year before his death, he said, "Well, my view on Europe is very simple. We had this bloody war which cost millions of lives and then we had to decide how we reacted to Europe. And I took the view that having fought them we should now work with them. That was my first thought about it. Then when I saw how the European Union was developing, it was obvious that what they had in mind was not democratic. I mean, in Britain you vote for a government and therefore the government has to listen to you, and if you don't like it you can change it. But in Europe all the key positions are appointed, not elected. The Commission, for example, all appointed. Not one of them elected." Mr. Benn concluded that not only is the institution fundamentally anti-democratic but that it also has a sinister agenda at its heart. He added, "The way Europe has developed is that bankers and the multinational corporations have got very powerful positions. If you come in on their terms they will tell you what you can and cannot do. That is unacceptable. My view of the European Union has always been not that I'm hostile to foreigners but that I'm in favor of democracy. Out of this story we have to find an answer because I certainly don't want to live in hostility to the European Union. I think they are building an empire and want us to be part of that empire, and I don't want that." After Britain joined the bloc in 1973, under the leadership of Tory Prime Minister Edward Heath, Mr. Benn devoted much of his political life to pulling the UK out of Brussels. No referendum was called on Britain joining what was then the EEC, the European Economic Community, but Labour won the 1974 general election on the promise that Harold Wilson would call a plebiscite. He did so, and Mr. Benn led the No campaign. During a debate with fellow Labour MP Roy Jenkins before the referendum, Mr. Benn argued that the Common Agricultural Policy (CAP) was designed to favour France and harm Britain. He explained, "The Common Agricultural Policy is a siege economy for French farmers. Nobody argues that because French farmers are uncompetitive, there is overmanning and they should be laid off.